Good morning, Paolo. Just a quick video to show you the import of iParts into DDM. I've created a project folder here so I can import the part into this folder. I'm going to start the import tool, DDM data import. Clearly this is based on the latest version. I'm going to log in as myself and accept the import tool liability. Pretty self-explanatory. Okay, we're going to be importing Inventor parts. I'm pointing this at the folder that contains the files that you've sent me as samples. We don't need to do this. We're going to start the analysis. It's found 64 files. No problems at all. Process them in 2 seconds. Nothing already in DDM. I'm going to go to the import wizard now. Excuse me. Okay, so in the import wizard we found some IPT files. You can see there's a red warning here that the data contains Inventor iParts. DDM doesn't support iParts, so the iParts will be converted into standard parts. If I say next, I want to reserve these into a folder. Have I got a folder called Trueform? Can I find it this way? That's not what I want. Okay, so if I just remove that, I have just created a new folder. It's called iParts. So I'm going to reserve into this particular folder here. Next. Now I'm going to choose the option to automatically create new DDM. Well, you've got the option. You can either create new numbers using an automatic numbering, or I can use the file name as the new number. And I believe in your Excel spreadsheet that you do use the file name. Next. This screen gives me the opportunity to map any of the parameters if they are available in the CAD tool. So I'm going to import everything at issue 1. I think looking at your system you had things as issue hyphen, and I'm guessing that's because they were standard hardware parts that don't change. But I'm going to stick to my system and bring them in as issue 1. I'm going to base the description on the file name. These are the attributes available to me. So I'm going to base it on the file name because there's no description field available. I'm going to put them in this category, okay, and I'm going to import everything as work in progress to the default business unit of CSI. I tend to, on import, in the comments, put the full path, which is the directory where they originally resided in the Windows file system. Okay, next. These are the parts that are going to be imported, and the DDM number, it won't be a new number, it will be the same as the file name without the file extension, because that's the option I've chosen. And when I press start, it will now run through the import. As you can see, each part will get loaded into Inventor, so it can make the necessary changes to the part and then import it. It's raining in Fleet at the moment. I don't know whether you could hear the rain at the moment, but it is raining pretty heavily. Okay, hopefully this won't take too long. I think there are 64 files to convert. Pretty quick. Always seems longer when you're sitting waiting, of course. Okay, so that looks like it's finished. Let me just check in the import tool here, and it says imported 64 records successfully. I'm going to close this. I'm going to close the import tool. I'm going to go to the PDM menu. Am I in here? PDM menu? I can't access that. Probably because we started Inventor independently. How are you likely to recommend? Oh, come on, come on. I don't want to do that. Get rid of that. Okay, PDM menu, search and open. I'm going to go into my folder now, and what we have in this folder, let me just do this, are all of our parts. Let me sort the columns where we've got the part number based on the file name, because that's the option I've chosen, and obviously the description I based it on the file name as well, because I had no other field. I am in a position to just go through 1, 2, 3, 4 and remove the file extension from the parts in here like so. Okay, oops, don't want to do that. I want to just remove that part like this. And if I switch on the category column that I usually put before status, obviously once things are finished, they can be assigned collectively to the correct category, and I would choose this to be hardware, fixings, bolts and screws, except button head security. Possibly don't have an option for that, but anyway, you understand what I've just done. Now, what I will do here is I am going to load this part, because while I was working on this, I had a look at the part after import. Everything seems to be absolutely fine. If you go to Manage iParts here, it's telling me that this part used to be an iPart and may never be made into an iPart factory. And obviously it says here that it is possible to derive, copy, paste, etc. the contents to another file. So I think that's telling me that because it used to be an iPart and we've broken it out, it cannot be an iPart in the future. So just a warning to consider there. Okay, so I'm just going to close this out now. Don't need to do anything with that. Jump back into the database, because what I'd like to do now is remove all of these from my database like so, and I will delete these out. Okay, I can delete them en masse because they're work in progress and I have them reserved. Okay, so delete 64, yes, all removed. Okay, so that's the finish of my my import. Let me know what you think. Obviously, this is based on the latest version of DDM that you need your server upgrading to. And just to mention on this video, I've also had a chat with development, and we're going to look at prioritizing the change. I think I confirmed this to you in an email yesterday, but we are going to have it so that you can set your own color and icon against each different folder type, hopefully to make it easier for users to understand the type of folder that they're looking at, you know, as an instant visual. Okay, thanks, Paolo. Contact me if you need any more help on this import, but I think the next step is that you need to get onto the latest version of DDM. Okay, thanks, Paolo.